Welcome everyone to another session of Quick Bits. Today's question it's actually kind of a generic question, but I kind of like it. So I think you're the supply chain expert, Scott, on this one. And it's just a general question really, is what is supply chain and how does it work?
Yeah, well, that's a pretty broad question. You're right, but it's a good question, and a lot of people. Well, it affects most every business out there. To be frank, supply chain basically is your end-to-end, order to cash, procure to pay. I mean, that's as SAP puts it. So with that, you would have your orders coming in. They could be in through individual orders, contracts, agreements, arrangements, things of that sort. And then, of course, from that would tie into the creation of a product or a series of products or like bill of materials that would be sold and delivered in various ways, usually using something like some kind of transportation scheduling management process or software, and then ultimately invoicing the customers. And of course, tied to that are the financials, such as the cost of goods sold and how that the incoming purchases in their costs for the purchases, including extended expenses like freight, shipping, things of that sort, are considered in your cost of goods sold. So ultimately, you're figuring out your profit, your P&L. Then also you got to consider taxing in some cases. Some taxing may be less complicated than others, depending on what you're doing, but it could get very complex if you get into, say, the petroleum products with downstream selling off a rack sale or something like that with excise taxes. So yeah, that's that's basically it in a nutshell from a high level.
Yeah, no, that was a great answer. I was thinking as you were speaking where this question comes from, and I bet it has something to do with what's going on at the grocery stores with COVID. I mean, even before I used to think, it just came from, it was either local or it came from, that factory and this factory, and the supply chain in my head was like, 4 or 5 links, but it's really hundreds and hundreds of links. It's incredibly complex what has to, work, whether it's packaging and all the requirements and regulatory and tax and everything. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Absolutely.
So what do you think then number one takeaway then is?
Well, that's interesting. You bring up that point. That was one takeaway I would deeply consider is part of these gathering insights is very important. Like KPIs, different insights, different visibility into your supply and demand, and how to predict that through recent or through your historical data, through events like what recently happened with COVID-19. How do you deal with that? How do you manage that? How do you prepare for that going forward? And ultimately also how it affects the bottom line. So how do you see that in your financials and your P&L? You want to make sure that it is a profitable method or will be in the long run. One example, a great product that's out there specific to SAP is SAP Analytics Cloud. It has some built-in capabilities, boardroom capabilities, especially in the finance to inventory side, tying all of that together, scheduling and things of that sort. So you can see it from top down. So it's great at the C level, so the CEO, CFO, COO, they can see how their operations, how their finances, how the overall company is performing. But then you can also drill down much deeper into the day-to-day activities and look at some potential anomalies that might be popping up that you need to address.
Cool. Great. Well, fantastic answer. Thanks again, Scott, and thanks everyone for watching today's Quick Bits. Stay safe. Have a great day.
Thanks. Have a good day.
Bye.